Welcome back to another episode of the Trade Ball Podcast. I'm your host, Ethan, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, RJ and Jalil. Y'all say what's up to the people, man.
What's up? What's up?
What's good? What's good?
What's going on? It's good to have a full crew back. It's been a while. We had, Jalil has some stuff going on, but he is back, and he is ready to talk some basketball with us. How you doing, Jalil?
I'm all right. I'm glad to be back.
We're glad to have you back. But before we get into it, we got a lot this episode for y'all. As we didn't record an episode last week. Had some football to watch. Some important games.
Ain't that right, Jalil? Ain't that right? How you feel? Actually, before we keep going, how you feel about your boys? They really just couldn't get it done. How do you feel about that?
I've always said I can't get mad at a game I didn't play in. So
why is this nigga lying for? Why is he lying?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. You watch your team fold like that, and it is what it is.
I mean, at least his team made it to the conference finals.
Thank you.
All right.
Don't worry, I got on to him about the Cowboys too on one of the episodes, so it's fine. But yeah, before we get into it, make sure y'all like this video, subscribe if you're new, turn on notifications, all that stuff. We drop every Monday, and go follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. We drop some clips over there. Some content you might enjoy. So take a second out of your day to look at that for us. And without further ado, we can go ahead and get into our first topic, fellas. So I wanted to start off by talking about some of these trades that have happened and firings and hirings. We can start off with one of the first trades that happened was the Terry Rozier trade. Terry Rozier was traded to the Miami Heat for Kyle Lowry and a first-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
What do you all think about that at face value?
I feel like a year or two ago, it might have looked a bit better, a little bit, just because Terry Rozier was he was not peaking, but he was doing his thing right at that time. But I think it should be good for the Heat. Kyle Lowry don't provide too much, but just solid. And I think Terry Rozier is a solid piece. Probably brings a bit of a different energy to the locker room and everything. But I don't think he'll take him a huge jump or anything.
Yeah. What about you, RJ?
About the same. Honestly, I like the move for the Heat. I feel like they get a little younger. Like Jalil said, like maybe like a year or two ago, it would have been a bigger announcement just because Terry's had some injuries. He's had some stuff in these last couple of years. But I think if you're the Hornets, you get. I think Kyle Lowry's the type of guy that you want in the locker room for younger guys. But I mean, like Jalil said, this trade isn't one of those things that you look at and you're like, damn, like one team got way better, one team got way worse. It was more just like just something that happened,
Yeah, I mean, as far as the trade goes, I don't mind it. Like Terry Rozier is a bit older now. He still got younger, but he is 29 going on 30. But he is a guy who was having a great season. Before the trade, he was averaging almost 24 a game and averaging, bringing in a good 6 assists, almost 4 boards, but we obviously knew he wasn't going to put those type of stats on the Heat. We obviously knew that.
Yeah.
And so far, he hasn't looked the best in the Heat. He's played 6 games, averaging 10 points on 30% from the field, 25% from 3. Now, yeah. So that's not good, but it's short. Only a 6-game sample size. He's getting used to a new team. He's been in Charlotte for 5 years at this point.
Yeah.
So, getting used to a new team, new system, used to that Heat culture, I guess. So I think it's going to be good for him. They got the best player out of it and really only gave up an expiring contract and a first-round pick because Kyle Lowry has been not done really much of anything this season. So I don't mind it for them. I like it. They finally did something because their team last year didn't make any trades. So it's good to see for Heat fans, I guess, but it doesn't move the needle at all, I don't think. And they already have another Terry Rozier on the roster and Tyler Hero. So it kind of makes their defense, I want to say almost worse. So we'll see how it goes for them. But I don't mind it. I don't mind that trade at all. Then we can talk about the trade that happened recently, about a week ago, maybe less. Steven Adams got moved for Victor Oladipo in 3 seconds. Went over to the Rockets. And as far as this trade goes, I have a good friend who's a big Rockets fan, and he loves it because it gives him another veteran, another great center. But I was thinking, this kind of feels like a nothing trade to me because Steven Adams is out for the season. Yeah. And I don't know how his contract's looking, but I mean, we know Victor Oladipo wasn't doing anything. Those 3 seconds we don't really care about, but maybe the Rockets think Steven Adams could be a big backup for them soon. I don't know, and I don't really know what the Grizzlies were thinking with it. Steven Adams was at times the third best player.
Yeah,
I think the Grizzlies are just looking like towards next season. I mean, because you look at it now, Ja's out, Marcus Smart's out, Desmond Bain is out. You're 13th in the West. So, I mean, you really
Couple
don't
extra
know
assets
at this point. So,
yeah. I just don't understand. I don't understand it much from the Rockets' point of view. And that's just because, like, are we getting this? So what are their rotations going to look like? Because right now, Şengün plays their 5 minutes, right?
Yep.
Are we getting Steven Adams to be our backup 5? Because I feel like he's better than that, you know?
Yeah.
And then, or are we going to try to run some 2 big lineups, which I don't like with the rest of their team, you know, the way the rest of their team is built up. So I don't know.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I still feel like Steven Adams has plenty of quality years left too. I know he's had a significant injury. He was out a lot last year. He's going to be out, all season this year. But I feel like he's only 29, 30. I think he has at least another good 2-3 seasons of starting quality, good starting center quality minutes. So I don't really know. I don't see him fitting with them, but who knows? They could be seeing something in the future for him. But kind of feels bad for Steven Adams. Feel bad a little bit. He had such a good season for them, helped them out a lot. And there are 2 seasons where they were, 2 seed, and then injuries go down and he gets traded. But I guess that's just how it goes.
It's a business.
Yeah. But we'll move on from trades. We can talk about Doc Rivers being hired as the Milwaukee Bucks' next head coach after they fired Adrian Griffin with a 30-13 record. How do y'all feel about, first, before we talk about getting into Doc, how do we feel about Adrian Griffin?
Let me go first, bro.
Getting fired.
So, Adrian, this is me and you here, Adrian. This is me and you. Realistically, what type of sick ass shit were you doing? Because they said you was doing some stuff. They said you was causing a little corruption in the locker room or whatever. What were you up to? Because they don't just fire. At the time you got fired, they were 30-13. At the time you got fired, y'all were 30-13.
2 seed.
Yeah, don't let me find out the shit you was doing, Adrian. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all got it. Man, don't let me find that shit out, bro.
I don't know.
It might have been like your boy that left Boston.
It could have been like that. It could have been like that. But I feel like if it was like that, they would have just said it. They would have said, "Oh, he was cheating on his wife. He was doing X, Y, Z."
I don't know though. It's weird because he wasn't a great coach. I know they were 30-13, but you have Giannis and Dame, and Chris Milton, other guys. This is a team that they've been experienced. They've won a championship, and even though they changed it up a bit, this is a team that's they're going to be good. But it's weird. I remember at the start of the season when Terry Stotts, who was his assistant, who's like his offensive coordinator, you could say he was running the offense for him, quit or stepped away like right before the season started. That seemed a bit odd. And then I don't know. You got the Bucks. The game after he got fired, pre-game's dancing, going crazy. I'm like, man, this is weird. I don't know what's happened, but he must have. I don't know if it was like a power trip thing. He felt like he had more power than he actually did, but clearly the Bucks wanted to go ahead and get that out of their locker room. Whatever he was doing,
I don't love the timing of it. Like even if he was being like that, okay, give him to the end of the season. But in the middle of the season, you're 30-13, and I feel like Doc Rivers was too easy of a hire, if that makes sense. Like, yeah. I don't know if they really got the best guy or if they for the job, or if they just got a guy who they know will do a job, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know if he's the right man for the job.
Considering the circumstances, I think he had to be the best guy for the job when he just fired your coach on the spot. I mean, all the other candidates there, like, in the offseason, you had guys like Nick Nurse available.
Yeah,
true. Obviously, none of those guys are available now. They all have jobs. So, I mean, Doc Rivers is a guy that's going to give you at least regular season success. And even though it's been a long time, he has a championship. He always is successful in the regular season. So, he's an established coach, but I just feel like this is what was going to happen, even though obviously you didn't know how it was going to be with Adrian Griffin before you went into it. You should have just hired Doc at the start of the season, I feel like. Because, he's already coming into a new team with players he hasn't coached, but now he's coming into a new team that's halfway through the season with with championship aspirations. So I feel like it's rough. I feel like it sets them back a little bit. The Bucks. I feel like they're still going to be good, obviously, but for them to win a championship after all this,
it's going to be a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So I think Doc Rivers, I mean, is a fine coach. I think he gets more pushback than he should. I feel like a lot of the stuff isn't fully on him.
So what amount of, because him blowing that goddamn 3-1 lead, that was on him.
Which one?
That's a perfect question. Which one? Let's say the last one he blew with y'all.
Was that all him?
I think it's just.
Is it his fault that and I love Paul George, but is it his fault Paul George was that wasn't Paul George?
Yeah.
I mean, is his fault Kawhi disappeared in Game 7?
Think about last year, right? They had my Celtics, right?
3-2 lead.
3-2. I watched Game 6, and they just looked like it's like they didn't give a fuck to win. It was like it doesn't make a difference. And as a coach of, because I don't know if Doc Rivers has really ever coached bad teams other than like earlier in his career, like when he was coaching like Orlando and shit like that. Mm-hmm. But like Doc Rivers has always had teams that were like good. And if you're gonna coach a good team and not like an all-time good team, like he had in Boston when he won, you have to be able to motivate these guys to want to go win. Yeah. I don't know if he can do that. I don't know if he's that type of.
I don't know if he can either.
Yeah.
But I also feel like at some point, I mean, at the Clippers days, before Kawhi and PG, every single year, one of the either Chris Paul or Blake Griffin was injured. Except for maybe the first one. Every single year after that, one of the two guys were injured during the playoffs.
True.
We get to the Kawhi and PG era, the 2020 year. PG disappears. Kawhi disappeared in the Game 7, and Kawhi's. How do you even predict that?
Yeah,
like that's never happened before. It's just like, and then Philly. How are you going to predict? I mean, was it his fault that Ben Simmons did what he did? I don't know.
No, because Ben Simmons been putting up the weak ass numbers even now. So
yeah, it's like I don't know if it's his fault for Ben Simmons. I don't, and it's just I don't know if it's his fault that James Harden disappeared sometimes those past couple of years when he's been known for that. I mean,
so what amount of it can you attribute to Doc Rivers?
It's got to obviously be part of it.
Because one thing Paul George was saying about his coaching in LA was that like some of the plays he draws up don't really fit for certain people's styles. Like he was kind of treating
doesn't make adjustments.
Yeah, he's not great with the adjustments, but he also was saying Paul George was saying a lot of like Doc Rivers was kind of running a lot of plays for him to like come off screens, almost like he was like a spot up shooter. And what Paul George was saying was like, that's not really my game. I like to get downhill. I like to be able to, ISO a little bit. And so I don't know how well Doc is with the adjustments, especially being up 3-1. You have to play not different, but you play the games a little. You have to play the game a little different. And I don't know if he's able to adjust when down or up or I think he's kind of always the same.
Fair, that's fair.
But we'll see it again this year because I think the Bucks should at least go to the second round.
Yeah,
they should. They definitely should.
A solid lead in the 7-game series.
They should go to the conference finals. I think.
Yeah,
easily. I think it should easily be the Celtics Bucks conference finals. I mean,
yeah.
All right. Bro.
I mean, I'm being serious. Like, I would love to see it. I don't know if we could like when we did the playoff video, we did the coin flip. I think it's really that close with our teams because I think they have a little bit more firepower. I will say, Dame and Giannis is just a lot. It's a lot to have to fuck with.
It is. But yeah, I guess congratulations, Doc, for your new job. I'm glad we don't.
Also, he got the All-Star head coach thing.
He even laughed about that. He was like, "What?"
Crazy.
People are saying he's got something on Adam Silver. That's all I know. That's what people are saying. But we can go ahead and move on from Doc. Hopefully he doesn't sell a 3-1 lead this year. Zach LaVine out for the season. Surgery on his right foot. What do you guys think about? He's been out for some time already. The Bulls half the time look better without him. Kobe White's been flourishing. What do you think this means for this trade market? Considering they were already saying there was no market for him.
You got it. Okay. It's interesting because They say there was no market for him. Somebody would have bid on the Zach LaVine trade. I mean, a perennial All-Star, someone that can get you at least from like 22 to 25 points a game. I think he's averaged like 20 this year, but that's on some weird type of time, on some weird. I understand he's had some injuries throughout the year.
He's only played 25 games. And he's played through injuries.
Exactly. So some weird circumstances, but I think when healthy is a 22 to 25 point per game scorer. Mm-hmm. A willing defender, maybe not the greatest, but a willing defender. And so somebody would have bid on a Zach LaVine trade. And so for those teams that might have been looking for another scorer, like I projected, I think I said Atlanta. I think Atlanta. Teams on that level of a team that feel like they might be able to sneak into the playoffs or maybe make a run with a guy like Zach LaVine. For teams like that, they got to be scrambling right now. I don't really know any other players that can have that impact on a playoff team. I don't really know if there's another player that is on the trade block that could make up for the Zach LaVine injury. So that'll hurt a lot of teams looking to make a trade.
For the Bulls, I don't know. I mean, obviously it's gonna hurt a little bit, but like I think Ethan said, he's played 25 games, which is exactly half of the season. And I think Billy Donovan said that the team's kind of already a bit used to playing without him. And like you said, Kobe White, he's having a good season. Alex Caruso is defensively is good, but he's averaging like 10 points a game. So I think for them to make the play-in, it's a bit harder now because I think right behind them we have the Nets and the Raptors.
Good teams.
But I think they're ninth right now?
Something like that. Around there.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't even if Zach LaVine playing, I don't think they go up, to that 7th or 6th spot. I think they kind of just stay where they are and probably fall to 11, 12 maybe.
Yeah. For me, I just think he definitely doesn't get traded now. I mean, this is another season ended with injuries for him. He's 28 years old, and he's I don't think y'all realize how big his contract really is. He's making $40 million this year.
Damn.
2024, 2025 making 43.
Damn.
2025, 26 making 46.
Yeah.
2026, 2027 $49 million player option.
He'll be 31 at 32. One of those.
He's 28 right now.
He'll be 31 going into that year, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
32 actually.
They're stuck. They are stuck because the trade looks worse as time goes on.
Yeah. So I think it's obviously nobody's gonna trade for him this season. Nobody's gonna trade for a $40 million guy who's not gonna play this season. Yeah. And then maybe in the off season, but they still have another guy he's coming off another big injury. 3 years left on his deal next season, a year and then 2 years after that. We know that player option is going to be accepted, I'm sure. I mean, it's $50 million for when he's 30-something years old. That's going to end up being accepted. So that's a hefty contract to take a chance on a guy that we haven't seen him play really this season. So I don't think he gets traded in the offseason either. So I think the Bulls are stuck with Zach LaVine for a while.
I think someone will make a trade for him.
Think so?
I think I can see Brooklyn or a team like that going to get him. I feel like Brooklyn's whole thing is not being able to score the basketball. So I could see a team like Brooklyn going to get him. And even if it doesn't work, it's like, I don't know. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, but best of luck to him on his recovery. We never want to see players get injured. And then got one more injury to go over. This one is even bigger. Joel Embiid. He has, and this is what they called it, this placed flat of the meniscus in his left knee. I don't really know what to think about that, but they're still deciding what to do. But in my opinion, it's dealing with the meniscus. This is a guy who's had knee problems before. I think he's done for the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me ask Jaleel, because I know he's had some knee shit. No, I'm not even. No. I'm not even trying to do too much. I'm just saying. I know you've had some knee stuff, so I'm gonna let you go first right here.
I'm not 7 foot, 6'2" and a half. But
no, he's ugh.
I don't even know what I didn't know there was flaps in the meniscus, but it does sound a bit serious, and there's no timetable on it yet. I think if it was probably 8 or so weeks, they would have said it already. But it being no timetable, it probably does lead to you probably come back either late April, something like that. So
Yeah, they
I think,
basically.
I think the 65 game forced it though.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, I think if he didn't have the 65 game, he wouldn't have been playing in the first place.
that's probably very true.
Yeah.
I
But
don't.
Yeah,
I think he's done. I think he's done.
Yeah.
I think he's done.
I don't see. I don't because he's what 7 foot 280,
Yeah.
Something around.
and that's what they have him listed at. Not that's So that's a lot to be. Your knee obviously is a lot of weight on it all the time. And I just don't think one he'd be able to play at a very high level, regardless of if he's playing or not. And two, that's the face of their franchise. I don't think they're willing to risk the next 4 or 5 years on one season.
Yeah, and they shouldn't. There's also a guy who's it's meniscus, so because they said they're weighing the options is whether rest/rehab or a procedure, which surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if it's surgery, he's done. We know that he's gonna be. If it's a knee surgery, he's gonna be done for the season, right? Rest and rehab probably the same because possibly he can come back April, maybe late March or get in time for the playoffs. But this is also a guy, if your knee injury, you're not putting any weight on that knee for probably at least a month.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're going to be out of shape and trying to come back right before the playoffs and get back in shape and then risk injuring again. I think he's going to be done for the season. I think I'm about like 80% sure he's done for the season.
Uh-huh.
And that's always bad to see, especially this is the guy who was probably the MVP before that. But what do you guys think this means for the Sixers? Because the Sixers are currently sitting at 5 in the Eastern Conference. They're 30-18. Their record without Embiid is not good. It's like 4-10. They won a game the other day where Tyrese Maxey had to drop 50 points against Utah, just for them to barely get by. What do y'all feel about the Sixers' hopes for the playoffs without Embiid and their trade market now? Because they were a team who we were thinking about maybe trying to trade for a star, but that might not be the case now with Joel Embiid out.
I think everyone on their team is going to look significantly worse without Embiid there, because Embiid has his gravity is so strong, right? If he catches the ball on the block, right, there are so many that opens up so many cuts, so many open shots, so much open. And if he cuts through the lane, and that opens up a whole side of the floor. I mean, it just his gravity is so strong. On top of him scoring 35 points a game, something like that. It's like all that stuff combined. I think everyone but Maxey, and even Maxey a little bit, when they play better defensive teams, will look, I think, significantly worse. Just because you can't a lot of the shit you were able to do before, you're not able to do anymore because you don't have someone that's drawing that much attention to them.
Yeah.
I think like RJ said, I think it's gonna take Maxey unless he turn into Wilt and start averaging 50 a game. I think I can see them fall into the play-in maybe. So
yeah. With the standings, like I said, they're 5 in the East. Next closest, they have a 3-game lead on the Pacers, and then from there to the 8th seed, Pacers are at 27-23. Miami and Orlando at 7 and 8 are both 26-23, and then it falls to Chicago at 23 wins. So they have from the 9th seed, they have a pretty sizable. It's pretty sizable. They have a 7-game lead over, but I mean these are still teams that could come back on it. I wouldn't be surprised if Indy, Miami, and Orlando all pass them.
Mm-hmm.
That would leave them down to the 8th seed, and then that's rough. That you're not obviously if you get the 8th seed, you end up winning in the play-in. Say you do, you're either going against Boston or Milwaukee first round without your best player, without the best player in the league, arguably at times. You're going home in the first round, and I just think that because of this, I was a guy who was wanting to use those contracts. Use Nicholas Batum, use Robert Covington, use all the guys you got from the Clippers pretty much, like KJ Martin, guys like Marcus Morris. Use those guys, expiring contracts, some of the picks you have, because they have a decent amount of picks. You got picks in the Ben Simmons trade for James Harden. You got picks trading James Harden out. They're a team that can go get a star player. But at this point, I see holding to these guys, let the contracts expire after the season, and maybe go after somebody in free agency. Load your team up in free agency or make trades then, because what's the point of me bringing in a star player? Unless I could bring in like a Mikal Bridges or something like that, who's going to be on my team for a while anyway. What's the point of me bringing in some star player for right now, and some older star player if it's not going to amount to anything? So it's unfortunate, but I think their season's pretty much over. Their championship hopes.
Yeah, for sure. And unfortunate for them, but great for my Celtics, I have to say. It opens up our lane just perfectly. And like we said, the Bucks, they got Doc Rivers. He's a known folder. So I think I don't want to say anything too much yet. I don't want to say too much yet, but I know what I'm thinking.
Yeah. You'll be going, because you'll end up going against a New York, or probably like a New York in the second round. Take care of them pretty handily, and then anyway.
Yep.
Now we're off the negative news. Let's go and get some positive stuff. All-Star Reserves.
Mm-hmm.
All-Star Reserves just dropped a couple of days ago. I'll do over those really fast. The East, we have Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Bam Adebayo, Julius Randle, Tyrese Maxey, and Paulo Banchero. Out West, we have Kawhi Leonard, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, Paul George, Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns, and Anthony Davis. Initial thoughts with those players. What do you like, what do you don't like?
You got so much of the players that are there, more of the players that are not there. Like, I'm not even the biggest Trae Young fan. He's averaging what, like 27 and 11 in a row. I know the Hawks aren't that good, like 10, 11. I don't know what do they need. What does he need to do?
That's what I'm saying. It's like I think sometimes people get so caught up in the Trae Young doesn't play defense and XYZ and Trae Young their ass.
I'm one of those people.
Well, I know. I'm aware. I know. Well, I'm just like, okay, defense or not, 27 and 11 is like an insane guard season. You don't just see that. He's done it 3 years in a row now and didn't make it. It's like, what more do you need to see from him?
Averaging 27 and 11 on 43% from the field. 38% from three, though. 86% from the line. Yeah, I get that. And he'll probably end up getting in, I think, because you got 2 injury replacements out east. You got Joel Embiid obviously going to be replaced. And then Julius Randle is probably going to miss.
Mm-hmm.
He's having the shoulder issue. So that opens up the door for guys like Trae Young, Scotty Barnes out east. Because those are your main 2 snubs from the East. You also got guys like Jared Allen. If you put in another big, he's been having a hell of a season. So Jared Allen could be put back in there. But I get that. But my thing is, I agree with Trae Young not being there, kind of, right? Because my thing is, they're not the best team. They're the 10th seed. His defense is the worst in the league. He's literally the worst defender in the league, pretty much.
No, he's not. Is he a top 10 worst defender? Yes, he is. But
gotta be
Anthony Simons.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But my thing is, what's the criteria? Because if Trae Young's not in the All-Star game, Steph Curry shouldn't be in the All-Star game. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Steph Curry shouldn't be in the All-Star game if Trae Young's not in the All-Star game.
I agree.
Because this is my thing. They say, because obviously they count winning into it. Because Karl Anthony Towns, even though he has been having an all-star season, Sabonis has been having a better season than him.
Mm-hmm.
Sabonis, NBA just dropped their MVP ladder. Sabonis was 7th on the list. But he's not an all-star, right? I think he's definitely the biggest snub. But, things like that is, winning does matter. All these top teams always end up getting 2 all-stars. But then Steph Curry makes it. He's the 12th seed. Right? And I'm not saying Steph Curry's not an all-star talent. We know Steph Curry, but I just look at it at face value. They're the 12th seed. They've not been a good team this season. So why should I? Now I know Trae Young's out east, but if Trae Young's getting picked, because obviously if the Hawks were a 5 seed, he probably would have been an all-star.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So obviously he's being penalized for that. But why is it not the same? Because that's my biggest gripe. And I'm not mad. Because if it is the winning, it makes sense because these other guys.
But does it though? Like, we have so many awards that are tied to winning, and it's like, damn, bro.
Do we?
Yeah, MVP.
Is MVP tied to winning anymore?
Basically, Yes.
Yeah.
Basically, all defense. You can't just make an all defensive team from a shit team because no one wants to. Oh, he was strapping up and it was getting their ass.
Alex Caruso?
No, but that's different.
Last year?
He's a well-known, like, great defender. But
I'm saying,
like I feel like there should be deep spots on the all defense team for great team defenders. And it's just like, to me, I feel like most of our awards we have are predicated on being kind of being on a winning team. You don't just see a bunch of.
It should be like that.
But All
I think it's not as much anymore.
All Stars one of those things that's like, damn, he's hooping. Like, I think that should be the only thing you say is, damn, he's hooping. And I feel like if we're looking at who's hooping, let me put it like this, bro. There's not a. This sounds crazy. Okay, Trae Young's playing better than Jalen Brunson.
I want to say that
he is.
I think you also have to take into account what they are for their. They're both the number one option. And if Trae Young, if he has a bit of an off night, you still got DeJounte Murray. If Jalen Brunson has an off night, are you trusting Julius Randle? Not so much. You have Josh Hart.
I mean, he's an all-NBA player.
I think. Let me think about it like this. If you put, in my opinion, if you put Trae Young where Jalen Brunson is right now, the Knicks are a 3 seed, 3-4 seed.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Jalen Brunson's averaging 27, 4, and 7.
We get an MVP chance.
On almost 50, on 48,
that
42.
That nigga's not, no, bro.
Bro, Jalen Brunson should have been the all-star starter.
Yeah.
Dame got it because of the fans, but Dame would have been there regardless.
Do you think, really, let me ask you, do you really actually think Jalen Brunson is better at basketball than Trae Young?
Yes.
I thought he's better at basketball, but he's playing better.
I would rather have Jalen Brunson on my team than I would rather have Trae Young. Because Jalen Brunson he's also more of a team player. I can have Jalen Brunson off the ball. We've seen it with Luke.
Okay.
I can have Jalen Brunson off the ball.
Let me ask you this: Who can you name me all the guards that made it in the East?
Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey,
Dame,
Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown, I think, was classified as a forward.
Yeah, Dame.
So it would be Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Dame, and Tyrese Maxey. Those are the 4 guard spots.
I would say you swap Trae Young and Maxey.
That was the reserves.
I wouldn't though.
That was the reserves.
Yeah, that was the reserves and starters. That's the
for the All-Star game. I would say Trae Young should be an open man. That's just me.
I just feel like I hate that this.
And Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, I was about to look it up. I think Halliburton made it too. So I guess I can't. There's no clear cut give to Trae Young over this guy like spot, but. It just hurts to say, like, damn, we have such a deep league where someone's averaging 27 and 11 can't be an all-star.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because, like, Tyrese Maxey.
And then also, I kind of hate how they have the requirements for the position. Because, like, Trae Young's probably playing a little better than Paolo. But it's just that you have to have a certain amount of forwards and a certain amount of centers and shit like that.
Yeah, because you think about out east, there is a lot of guys that, like, the bigs are kind of bleak when it comes to the all-stars out east. So it makes sense. Then you have to have guys like Bam. Bam's a good player, obviously. Have to have guys like Bam, and then maybe Jared Allen isn't being an all-star because of the positions. But I don't know, man. It is weird, and we'll get into that a little bit later with our question of the day when it comes to the all-star rosters and criteria and stuff. But I think when it comes to it, they just got to be consistent with it. Because moving out west, Trae Young does have that argument, but out west, this is my thing. Kawhi Leonard, I think he was a lock. Anthony Edwards, I think was a lock. Is that that might be the only locks, honestly, because
he's talking about the reserves.
Yeah. Because I look at Paul George, and I love Paul George, but he wasn't a lock. But they're the 3 seed, so they gave the second All-Star for them. They gave the second All-Star to the Timberwolves, who were one of the best teams in the West. They're not the 1 seed anymore, but they were the 1 seed for majority of the season. But some instances they do the winning, but some instances De'Aaron Fox or Sabonis isn't on the team, and they're the 5 seed.
But yet you have 2 Lakers.
2 Lakers who are a play-in team.
I hate
2
that.
Suns who they're the 6th seed, so that's not bad. 2 Lakers just because their names are LeBron and AD.
Yeah,
and they're not. Are they having all-star seasons? Yes, but as a team that low in the standings, need to have 2 all-stars? I don't think so. It just depends. If you want to go by, okay, that man's having a crazy season. Okay, I get that. But some instances they go by that, and some instances they go by that's their name. They play in LA, or that's their name. It's Stephen Curry. We got to have him in there over Fox. Even though I got the stats written down because this is my biggest gripe. I'm not saying De'Aaron Fox should have been an All-Star, but I just went because I think Sabonis should have been an All-Star over Fox. But Sabonis is 7th in MVP ladder right now.
What is Sabonis' averages? Maybe I'm not locked in. Maybe I'm not like
Sabonis is almost averaging a triple-double.
Yeah, it's like 19, like 12 and 8, I think, or 12 and 9. Like
he's averaging 20, 13, and 8 on 62% from the field, 43% from 3. Not a lot of attempts, obviously, but 43% from 3, 70% from the line, and that's on how many attempts of 3 a game? He's attempting a 3 a game. At least 1.1 threes a game. I mean, he's hitting them, the ones he's shooting.
Yeah,
and he's on a big double streak right now, like a second longest active double streak. I think he should have definitely been in.
He leads leading rebounds too.
But if he was going to be in over somebody, it would have been over like Cat because it's the position thing. But that's okay. They were the best team in the West. That's fine. They can have their 2 All-Stars, but Steph Curry and De'Aaron Fox I highlight because the Warriors are a 12 seed, and their stats are almost identical. Before Steph Curry dropped to 60 points the other night in the loss, by the way, their stats were they're still almost identical. So De'Aaron Fox is averaging 27.5 points. Steph Curry is averaging 28.1 points. A 0.5 difference. De'Aaron Fox is averaging 4 rebounds. Steph Curry is averaging 4.4 rebounds. 0.4 difference. De'Aaron Fox is averaging 5.5 assists. Steph Curry is averaging 5, so a half an assist different. From the field, 47% from the field, 38% from 3 for Fox, 45% from the field from Steph, and 41% from 3. So the stats are, before the 60-point game, they were even more identical. Like they were averaging like the exact same amount of points, but now it's a little bit higher, but pretty much the same stats. Both arguably the best player on their team. Obviously, Steph's the best player on his team. I would say right now Sabonis is having the better season, but you would argue Fox is the best player on that team. And one's on a 5th seed, one's on a 12th seed, and Steph got in because his name is Stephen Curry.
Yeah,
in my opinion, I feel like it's the coaches that vote on those reserves. It has nothing to do with the fan vote. So there's got to be. I don't understand why that's a thing.
I feel like the problem with the spots is partly because I think AD is probably having a little bit better of a season than. The only way AD wasn't going to make it is if LeBron was playing way better than him. Because LeBron's going to be an all-star every year no matter what, so it doesn't make a difference. And AD was playing so well, it's like, damn, we have to let AD be all-star too. So that takes a spot. And then it's like, also, like you said, the names, Ethan. And then, personally, I'd give me Sabonis probably over AD.
I'm taking Sabonis over AD, Sabonis over Cat. Yeah. I mean, the NBA literally just had him at 7 on their MVP tracker. AD wasn't up there.
No.
Cat wasn't up there.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple guys you could argue that could be in over Cat. There's a couple.
Yeah.
But Sabonis, you could possibly argue Wemby or Lauri Markkanen, possibly.
Lauri Markkanen's a guy.
Or Gobert. You could possibly argue Gobert.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I had a snubs list. My key snubs were De'Aaron Fox, obviously, Sabonis, obviously, Lauri Markkanen, he's having a great season. Trae Young, obviously, we talked about Scotty Barnes and Jared Allen were my biggest snubs, whatever. But
how do we feel about Wemby? Wemby not really getting the look.
I think it's because
they're so bad. Yeah, they're so bad.
But I don't think Wemby, even if they were good, wouldn't have. Well, he probably would have, but I don't think.
What are his stats right now? Like 20 or like close to 20?
20 and 10.
Yeah.
20 and 10 on bad efficiency.
20 and 10, right? And isn't he leading the league in blocks?
Yeah, that was like 30 a game, ain't he?
Yeah.
He's averaged 30 blocks.
It was like Gobert, it was his Defensive Player of the Year award. It was like 140 something blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Same amount of steals, and Wemby's past that. Like,
already.
He is.
All I'm gonna say is this, bro. 20-10 and leading the league in blocks is an all-star season. I don't give a damn who he plays for. He could play for the goddamn Newport News All-Stars, nigga. I don't give a fuck. He needs to be.
You can't be an all-star if you're not even in the play-in. That's my. I don't think you should even be considered for an all-star game if you're not even in the play-in.
Okay,
No, that's not fair.
How is that not fair?
Look hypothetically.
Okay.
If Wemby was averaging 28, 15, 6 assists, and he's last in the West, did he not be an all-star?
No, I don't think so.
You averaging 28?
Not if you're last in the West.
What difference, Ethan? I'm telling you, I'm not saying okay. You can't be all in. Well, goddamn, no, you all NBA with them stats.
No, you're not.
Yeah. To me, if you are averaging these crazy ass stats and you're like, especially for All Star, I know All NBA is a different because All NBA is what we kind of use to like measure people's legacies and stuff. But for the
All Stars too,
kind of, but not the
first thing people look at. What's the first thing they talk about when people enter the Hall of Fame?
I'm looking at All NBA.
I'm talking about the Hall of Fame. When they talk about the Hall of Fame, oh, this guy's a 4-time All-Star. This guy's a 7-time All-Star. That's a basketball Hall of Fame.
But Ethan, if someone was averaging 28, 15, and 6 blocks, whatever the fuck he said, they deserve to be an All-Star.
If he was averaging that, they wouldn't be the 15th seed.
Wemby's literally averaging. What do you mean? If you said he's averaging 20, 10, and the most blocks in the entire NBA?
Yes.
20 on terrible efficiency though.
Damn that efficiency. Well. It doesn't matter to me.
It does. It does because this is the same thing as Steph Curry and De'Aaron Fox.
Who else is going to shoot?
What?
Devin Vassell's ass-tastic. He's not actually good.
What?
He's not real life good, bro. He's actually horrible. And this is what should really scare people is this is Wemby playing 28 minutes a game. So Pop is really saving y'all niggas. He's really saving y'all ass. Because if Wemby was playing
not using them in the fourth quarter because they're getting blown
exactly, but I'm saying if Wemby was playing 35 minutes a game, these totals would be looking a lot like what Jalil was saying. He'd probably be averaging like 25.
Why would he play 35 minutes a game if they're getting blown up by 30 in the fourth quarter?
No, bro. That shit just doesn't. I think you're putting a little. He's averaging 3.2 blocks a game.
Okay,
that's like he might be. He should be the defensive player of the year.
I'd say Rudy Gobert over that.
But you're just saying that because Gobert is on a winning team.
And he's contributing to that winning. The winning has to matter. Let me ask you this.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you this question. I need you to answer it honestly, okay?
Okay.
If you switch Wemby and Gobert, and you put Gobert on the Spurs, that's a 0-win team. They win. They go 0-82. If you switch Wemby and Gobert, they lose like 10 games in a fucking season, bro. It's just the scenario.
I don't think the Timberwolves necessarily get better though. I mean,
the Timberwolves don't get better with Wemby.
I mean, okay, maybe, yeah, okay, yes, they will get better. They'll get better, but you gotta understand this.
Come on, man.
You can't just say, bro. You can't just say if they switch.
I understand that that's not really a fair way to look at it. But I also understand that you understand what I'm saying. Is that
I understand what you're saying.
Yes, like you can't just because he's on an ass team doesn't mean he's playing ass. Like he can't. He's not God. He can't make them win. If he could make them win, he'd be doing that. I promise you that. They're ass. They have 10 wins. Like
Bradley Beal averaged 30 and didn't get an All-Star game.
And that was why? Bogus as fuck. He should have.
No, it wasn't because they sucked. They sucked.
You averaged 30. You deserve to be an All-Star.
Yes. Under any circumstances.
No.
Okay.
Not if somebody. It's because listen. It's just there's other players that are doing close to that anyway. Maybe not 30, but other players are averaging 26, 27 that are contributing to a winning team.
It's just carrying a team, even trying to carry a team by scoring 30 points a fucking game. To me, that makes you an all-star, no doubt. Not even anything to think about. Because 30 points in the NBA, night in and night out, is like historically damn near unprecedented. Like before these last 5 years, it just wasn't a thing that happened. You just didn't see it. And I feel like no matter who does it, that's actually insane. And you should be an all-star.
I mean, right now you have what, like 5, maybe?
Yeah, how many people are averaging 30?
Yeah,
This season?
Yeah.
All of them are all-stars.
Yeah, pull it up.
All of them are all-stars.
Let's see.
Yeah, exactly. You can't tell me that they're not all all-stars.
Well, except for Embiid.
But yeah, I mean, he should be. It's just the injury shit.
I mean, he is an all-star. He'll still be marked down as an all-star. I mean, still, though, like, if I'm averaging 30 on the worst team in the league, why I shouldn't be considered an all-star for guys who are contributing to win?
The points thing is a little different. Because anyone could just score on a bad team.
Yeah.
But being able to average damn near 3.5 blocks, that's actually insanity. And 20 and 10. And about 3.5 assists. I ain't gonna leave them out.
It's 2K numbers.
Yes, that's literally 2K numbers. Ethan, how many people are averaging 30, bro? I know you pulled the list up.
I'm trying to pull it up. I can't find it.
You search ESPN Top on NBA, go on stats.
Yeah.
Let me see.
We got I'm pulling up the NBA scoring leader.
Four.
Four?
Giannis, Shea, Luka, and Embiid.
You could argue that those might be the 4 best players in the league from time to time.
You could argue that all 4 of them will be finish MVP voting.
Yes. Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
Like,
but they're all on winning teams, though. All right, hang on. All right, we'll go to points per game.
I get why you say winning teams, but
Trae Young, averaging 27, not an all-star.
Okay.
I know you are talking about Trae Young.
Yeah.
Who's else is like the highest scoring guy?
I'm looking at this list too, and I feel like it's unfair. Okay, Embiid, yes, all-star. Luka, yes. Shea, yes. Giannis, yes.
KD, yes.
Yes. Don, Devin
Yes.
Booker, Steph Curry, we just argued about, but he's an all-star. And then Fox gets fucked, but I think he should be an all-star too, and you do too. So we're basically what the league is telling you is like the top 20 scorers are all-stars.
Trae Young's not an all-star. Desmond Bain is not even
okay. That's different. That's really
Guess
different.
what? How's it different? He's on a bad team.
No, but we're watching.
That's why it's different.
No, but we're
if
watching.
If they were the 5 seed, he would have been an all-star.
Okay, but we're low. But we're looking. We have eyes too. I don't have to just look at the stats. I've seen that nigga play. He's not.
Yes.
That's not. Those aren't real 24 points. It's a facade. He's fucking with you. He's fucking with your head.
But Wemby's is real 20 points.
But the thing is,
what's the difference?
There is no inflated 3 blocks a game. That's just 3 blocks a game. There is no. There's no one else to score, so he got 3 blocks a game. There's no one else to block shots. That's not how it works. He's blocking 3 shots a game.
And I get that. I understand that. And Victor Wembanyama he's an incredible defensive player. He's going to probably finish top 3 defensive player of the year while being on a bad team. I just mean he needs to be an all-star.
I just feel like Are there 24 guys that have been hooping more than he's been hooping?
Yes, all 24 guys that made the all-star team, and all the snubs we talked about. So you're saying he's deserved it over anybody that made the all-star team?
I think you could argue it.
Yeah, there's definitely an argument.
You could argue it, but did he? Yes or no?
Who are the big guys?
I wouldn't be mad at it.
You can't do that just because Cat is on the one or was on the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Okay. Ethan, read me out the bigs that made it, and I'm gonna tell you which one he should have got.
I'll read you the West bigs.
Okay.
Because the East bigs, obviously, you got Jokic, you got AD. I guess we can go forwards and we can go. No way you're going to say he deserves it over AD.
You can stop.
No way you're going to say he deserves it. And I'm the biggest AD hater.
You can stop. What is AD averaging, bro? Like a smooth,
25 and 12 with 2.5 blocks, I want to say.
Okay, not AD. I'll keep going.
Yeah, 25, 12, 4 assists, 2.5 blocks.
Okay, yeah.
He's like second in blocks.
Not AD.
Okay. You got, I guess I can mention the forwards. You got Kawhi, Anthony Edwards, Paul George, Cat AD, and then the starters were LeBron, Jokic, and who was the other forward that started? With Luka and
Was
Shea.
it Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Somebody deserves over any of those guys?
Cat the only one you can kind of say.
Yeah, I guess.
That's having a great season.
If he wasn't on the 1 seed, though.
Yeah.
I'd be saying Wemby. Because, yeah.
I wouldn't. He's averaging 23, 9, and 3, 50, 40, 90.
But Cat be playing that baby ass defense, bro.
Oh my god!
I gotta mention it. He do
All
play
right,
that.
we gotta move on.
Yeah,
we gotta move on.
And this actually kind of leads us perfectly into the last topic. I know we have one in between, but this conversation leads us perfectly into the last.
Yeah, we can go ahead and talk about it. The question of the day: should the All-Star team have more roster spots? / should it be not non-position based?
I don't think it should have more roster spots. I think it should be non-position based.
No more roster spots. You don't think? No. Why is that?
I mean, I think it's 12 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 12.
I mean, that's on a team. You normally have 13, 14. So what do you add in one guy? I mean, you leave it at 12. It's been 12.
Some people want to leave it to put it to 15 because 15 is the max.
15 is OD though.
There's a lot of people playing.
Yeah, it is. I think around. I think if you add 1 or 2 spots, maybe I'll say 1. I feel like every year there's one guy that definitely deserved it and didn't get it. I feel like now if you start to add, if we get to 15, okay, some guys some years are gonna make it that just shouldn't have been all-stars. Yeah. But I feel like right now, like there's some arguments that we wouldn't be having to have. Like Trae Young is probably all-star. You add him and then there's no argument there, which I understand. Like for the NBA, like they're probably never gonna expand it because it is good for their money having people argue about. Yeah. Should such and such.
What we're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's great for their brand. So I can see why they're going to do it.
I think it should be non-positionless, though, considering the NBA is a bit positionless.
I definitely think that should have been happened. Because, end of the day, guys like, we can just say, Bam Adebayo, having a great season, but he might have not made it over one of some of the other guards, especially when guards, especially like out west, you only have 4 guard spots, and you have your wild cards. You get 3 forward, because they tie in forward and center, so you get a lot more forward spots than you get guards. So the guards are kind of getting messed up too, because that's how you have guys like De'Aaron Fox not making it, and but I think they could definitely maybe add 1 at most, because I think their argument is you have multiple injury replacements regardless. So even though Julius Randle and Joel Embiid are going to be getting replaced, they're still going to be all-star. They're still going to be considered all-stars. When you look at their basketball reference, still going to say all-star. When it comes to their contracts and whatever endorsements or anything they have, bonuses, they're going to get that bonus for being an all-star, whatever it is. Because that's the biggest thing. That maybe like owners wouldn't want it to happen, because now you have more guys able to get these incentives because they made all-stars. But on the other hand, all-stars have been the same for years and years. We have a lot more teams now, and we're going to be getting more teams. We assume in the next 10 years, probably have another team or 2. So, if we get another team in Las Vegas, we get a team in Seattle, are they still going to keep it 12? I mean, it's just the NBA is it's the most talented it's ever been, and especially like out west when you have all these guys that deserve it, and then. I think it'd benefit to add 1 more spot, because you already have multiple more spots, kind of, because there's always going to be at least like 2 every year injury replacements. Like right now, we're going to get 2 injury replacements on the East. You never know, somebody can get injured sometime soon in the West or the East, so you never know. We're going to at least 2, we know, as of right now. So I think adding 1 East Conference would benefit, and I definitely think we can all agree, the no positions.
I wouldn't mind if. And this is tough because, like you said, Ethan, it's the system. It's tough to change anything with this because the system has been the same for so long. And so once you start to tweak stuff like that, it's like the NFL adding a game to their season. Like all the records and shit seem a little like weird because they added a game to the season. Now, of course, the stats are going to be higher. Of course, XYZ. Of course, this and that. So by adding extra spots, by doing certain things, it is going to make people look at it a little differently. But I do think. Let me pose you this question: Is Bam playing better than Wemby? And just answer this with a yes or no. Answer with a yes or no.
I think so.
Ethan, why do you hate Wemby? What is it? Who hurt?
I don't hate Wemby.
Who hurt you? Why are you like this?
Bam's playing on a winning team. He's averaging 20, 10, and 4. He plays defensive player of the year defense too. They're having essentially the same defense, the same year stats wise. They're both averaging 20 and 10. Bam's on better efficiency. Not better from 3, obviously, because he doesn't shoot threes, but better efficiency from the field. Same stats, a little bit more assists. and he plays, I'd argue, better defense than Wemby when it comes to perimeter and interior, out in that perimeter. So I'm not mad. I would take, obviously, if I would choose one I want my team right now, I would say Wemby because for the future. But I'd say this season, Bam's having a better season.
Well, my point was gonna be that like I feel like you could almost make it like because last year it was like where it wasn't East and West, or the selection is from East and West pools, but like it's not East and West teams. I feel like that it should just be the 24 best players in the league.
That's as well because some of these guys in the East wouldn't be there; they'd be replaced by guys in the West.
So I think we could. I think in the future we could be looking at just the 24 best players as all stars. Now, again, like I said, like that'll change the way we look at things because all the people that are all stars there might be out of those 24, 16 of them might be from the West or whatnot. So we'll have to look at things a little differently. But I just feel like it should be the best players. It shouldn't be bound by each conference.
Yeah, I think if we go positionless and it's the best players, you got to bring the draft back.
That makes more sense.
It does. And I like the draft. I don't know. Yeah. I was kind of disappointed they switched it back because it was entertaining. Even though the game wasn't as entertaining, the draft part of it was always entertaining.
The game is like, always just so ass, though. That shit always makes me upset.
Yeah. It used to be cool, though.
Yeah.
You take it serious.
But the draft was always fun.
Yeah.
Like I think the draft was the best part of it the past couple of years because you got things like when LeBron and Kevin Durant wasn't drafting James Harden because he had just gotten traded, or you got Giannis and LeBron making jokes with each other and all that type of stuff. Like that's a good concept, you know. And also with this East versus West, the West always been better than the East, especially it's gotten better the past decade. But back in 2014, 2015, we have Kyle Korver being an all-star, averaging 12 points a game.
Shit.
You know, I mean, that's what I mean. Obviously, he was an injury replacement or whatever, but still, that type of stuff happens because East versus West. When a lot of guys out West that are a lot better than some of these all-stars out West.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something to think about. I think something's format of the All-Star game or the way all this stuff is going to change in the next 5 years. I would say something else is going to change. You know how Adam Silver is, so I think that's definitely going to change. But moving on to our last topic of the day. I just wanted to give some praise to some of these guys who've been having some crazy high scoring performances. And now, when I say high scoring performances, I'm talking like 60 plus because we get 40 pieces and pretty much 50 pieces every week now. But we've had a lot of high performance games. Y'all let me know if I'm forgetting anybody. We had Steph last night, I want to say. Just dropped 60 in an L, unfortunately, but he dropped 60. Luka, which my favorite one. Jalil was talking about it as well. 73 points in a win. Just doing anything
percent from the field.
That shit is insane.
Anything he wanted to do. You had Joel Embiid drop 70 and in a win before he got injured. Then you had D-Book. He had 62 in an L. So what do y'all think about these high-scoring games? Let me know if I'm forgetting any 60 pieces. I don't think I am.
Not recently, I don't think.
Everybody who dropped 60 lost, right?
Yeah. Steph lost and D-Book lost, and they're both 60-point games.
No, Cat lost too.
Oh, yeah, Cat. That's another one.
That's who I was forgetting. Cat had his 62, I want to say, or 63, and he lost. And that game, it was funny because their coach was so mad at the end of the game because they were just giving him the ball and not playing real basketball.
Yeah. He actually ended up getting pulled a little bit because like they were just kind of feeding him the ball. Like they weren't even trying to play for real.
He got like 4 points in the fourth, I think.
Yeah, he didn't have a bunch.
Yeah. And hey, that's good coaching in my opinion. That's a great coaching for what you don't think that's great coaching?
I'm all about the fun, man. Damn a win. We got 40 more. Let this nigga get some buckets. I mean,
this guy's job is to win. His job is on the line.
His job isn't on the line.
His livelihood.
They were the one, probably at the time either the number 1 seed or number 2 seed. They've been playing great basketball. Cat is having a career game. Feed him. Let him. Damn, bro, you're gonna get another game. If it won't if they lose this game, you're gonna get fired.
No, but that's still at the end of the day. What if it was a playoff game?
Oh, that's different.
But if you're letting your team do this now, what's to stop them from doing it then too?
Well, I hope they have the maturity to be like, damn, this is a playoff game. Let me stop wilding. I'm wilding right now. Like let me play some real basketball.
But it's the flow of the game because I know we've all been on the court. I know when somebody's having a hot, this is natural. When somebody's hot and they're even just in a regular pickup game, when somebody's hot, they've hit multiple in a row. You keep feeding them the ball because they want to hear. That's just natural. So it's on the coach to say, "Hey, let's play. Let's run our sets. Let's do what we're supposed to be doing because let's reel this in because we're going to end up losing. Just trying to feed them for no reason, take bad shots."
Yeah, that's true. It is his job to kind of regulate things. Yeah. But there's a fine line. I feel like you definitely don't want to. You definitely want Cat to keep shooting, but you also have to stay in your sets and things like that.
Yeah.
So my dad was that type of coach.
You said what?
My dad was that type of coach.
What you mean?
Nice.
Brian, there'll be some games. Mind you, I'm a Fort Lee Rec League legend, by the way. double every single season.
Oh my God, bro.
There were some games I'll have like 17 at half. Sit me on the bench.
Nigga, what?
That's crazy.
First off, Jalil, I've seen you hoop before. I'm calling cap on 17 and a half.
Bro, hear me out though. In gym and like everything, I don't be like that.
Oh, nigga, I remember.
unless I'm pissed off. That's the only reason.
Type shit.
Try to Fort Lee and ask about me.
Oh my gosh, bro.
But yeah, I wanted to give praise to those five guys having great performances, and I don't know what y'all think about like the scoring that we've been having the past couple seasons. What do y'all think the reason for that is? Y'all think any rule changes are coming? Y'all think the defense is a problem or the defensive rules are a problem? What do y'all think?
I think there's more free throws being shot, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a big thing.
I think Kevin Garnett said it. Like eventually, a team's gonna get 200 points, and somebody's gonna break the 100-point game.
I don't think nobody will score 100.
Luka could have possibly done it.
That's going to take 27 game. More points.
If they go to overtime and break it,
he's scoring 27 in overtime.
I don't think so.
It would
think about how tired you are.
It would take so many. It would take the perfect circumstances. It would take you to score. It would take you to probably score like 80 in regulation, 85 in regulation. Then you have to be in such good shape that you can keep playing at that level. You'd have to not be in foul trouble. It would have to be a close game while you've already scored 85 points in regulation. And then on top of that, you'd have to score 15 points in an extra period.
And you also have to have a coach dumb enough not to double you.
Exactly.
Like Luka didn't start getting doubled to the fourth quarter.
Yeah. So there's so many different aspects of it. So where I say like, I think the only way you can score, this is what, and also the Will Chamberlain shit, NBA, you're on the clock. Release that footage. Anyways, you said what?
Bro, it was in the 1960s. You think they gonna let a person this take a record? Oh.
Jalil, he did not score fucking 100 points, bro. I don't give a damn.
In 1960, in New York, they were playing in New York. You think that the NBA at the time, society at the time, gonna let them fake that record? No.
Yes, bro.
Oh,
bro, they have footage of 1930s football. They got footage of niggas in World War II walking beside kids and shit. You mean tell me they don't got footage of the best basketball game ever?
They got Melo.
I see.
My nigga bullshitting, bro. He did not see that. No, bro. He didn't do that. I think the only way you can. I think the highest amount of points that might be possible is like 85.
Okay, let me ask you this: why would the NBA fake?
Why would they fake it? Because the league back then was kind of like not failing, but it wasn't doing great as far as like money, ratings, all that stuff. It was not doing great. So for ratings and attention, and also, how did this nigga score 100 on the fucking dot? How did he not? How do you?
He's only taking twos. To be fair,
I'm saying he got. So it just doesn't make sense to me. And also, I saw this thing earlier this week. It was like they stopped the game a little earlier or some shit. It's like. There's nothing they talk about when they talk about this shit makes any sense.
I don't know.
I mean, apparently they lost the game too, though. He scored 100 that lost.
That shit that doesn't make sense. That's not how shit works. You don't.
I mean, but he averaged 50 for a season. What, like 3 times in his career?
Some shit like
so
that.
to say he got 100 is reasonable.
Bro, I just
anything the game has got 100. It has to be Will Chamberlain.
But
nobody.
How though? That's 25 a quarter, which I don't fucking know, bro.
That's reasonable. You the tallest thing on the court. Yeah.
So Ethan, you believe it?
I don't know, man. It's. I believe he could have done it. Like, who he was going against, his competition he had. is I think he could have easily done it. But I also think that there should be film because, like you said, I've seen every other thing. Like I was just watching footage the other day. I saw posted. It was like 1960 something All-Star game. But
yes,
I saw like. So it was like, why do they have that?
Bro, they have footage of niggas on the moon, and they don't have footage of this nigga scoring 100 points. They don't have pictures. They don't have video. They don't have audio. They don't have anything.
I don't got a newspaper clip from back then.
Exactly. There's dead ass nothing, Ethan. There's not anything there. It just doesn't make sense at all.
Only reason it makes sense to me is because why would they fake it? That's
I
understand the reason why they wouldn't fake it, like a black man in 1962. But shit, I think the league was in such a bad place where they was like, shit, we need anything right now. And a nigga scoring 100 points, that's good publicity. People want to see that.
Points.
I don't know though.
But I don't think it gets broken. I think that's even like you talk about, we go into double overtime, we go into triple overtime. You're so gassed at that point, especially if you're a star player. And any good coach, good team is not letting anybody score, even 70. They shouldn't. There's a reason why. I mean, look, these players aren't dropping 70 against the Timberwolves or the Celtics.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Okay, let me ask y'all this. If someone was going to score 100 points, who does it?
probably Luka, to be honest.
I don't know, bro.
He's too fat. He's huge.
He wasn't too fat to drop 73.
No, on God, that is true.
I don't know, man. I just he wants to say Jason Tatum.
Hell no. That nigga.
You don't think so?
I was gonna say Steph. It either be Steph or if Joel Embiid could get in better shape, he'd be able to do it. Because he would just keep getting fouled. Like, I could see him shooting like 35, 40 free throws in the game. But I couldn't see. I'd say Steph just because he's in such good shape. But then even then, your legs leave you at a certain point where you're shooting that many threes. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and how many threes would he have to make? Like 20? If he makes 20 threes and he's still. Yes, and the thing about Steph is that's why I feel like his career high is like kind of capped because he's not getting fouled. He'd shoot a lot of free throws to hit like 70 points.
Yeah. Even those free throws, like a guy like Joel Embiid, even though he's had, a 70-point game, you're getting fouled that much. Your body's taking a beating. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're getting 30 free throws, you're not going to make all of them, obviously, and you're getting more fatigued from getting to the line than you are shooting and shooting the ball like Steph Curry. That takes a toll on your body too. Eventually, your legs. I mean, even though he's in one of the best, probably one of the best physiques, or he's in the best shape out of a lot of these NBA players. Not physiques. He's in the best shape. All right, bro. He's in the best shape out of a lot of these NBA players.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's still not gonna,
The person that's gonna break the record is not in the league right now. They're not in college right now. They're not in high school.
I don't think it ever gets broken.
What about Victor Wembanyama?
All right, bro. We gotta close
bro.
this.
He can shoot. He can finish. If anyone's gonna,
he's shooting 30% from three.
As a rookie, calm down. You said what, Jilla?
What's his career high? Like 32 right now?
He's a rookie. 38. Damn, he got something. Damn, he got to do when he's 19.
Shit, I want to say.
Yeah, true.
Shooting 30% from three on how many attempts? 5 attempts a game. Man, stop taking 5 attempts a game. Go get. You're 7 foot. You're 8 foot tall. Go dunk the ball.
No, facts. Damn. Yeah, you're right. He gotta go to the hoop a little bit.
I'm saying, like, it's just like Kristaps back when Kristaps was on the Mavericks, bro. Ain't nothing made me more. I'll never forget a play. It was a 1-on-1 fast break in the playoffs, mind you. Kristaps Porzingis. Guess who was a 1-on-1 with?
Who?
Reggie Jackson.
Oh no!
Kristaps Porzingis got the ball. Reggie Jackson was under the rim. Kristaps Porzingis stopped at the wing 3 and shot a 3 and hit the front of the rim. That's Reggie Jackson in the paint. You're 7'3". No way we're not dunking that.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
And I love Kristaps, but that man.
Yeah, I feel you.
It'll get broken.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see. I think it'll be a while though.
Yeah. But that about wraps us up for today, fellas. We had some great conversations, talking about a lot of things. Let's see, we got the whole gang back. We're doing good. We're gonna keep uploading every Monday. If y'all enjoyed the video, make sure you like, subscribe if you're new, share it, tell a friend about us. You know what I'm saying? Help us grow. Go over to Instagram, TikTok, follow us over there as well at the Trade Ball Podcast. We appreciate y'all for watching. Y'all have anything else y'all need to say? Or are we good?
No.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week. Peace.